It's a solidarity rally organized by the opposition People's Democratic Party in Edo State on Democracy Day. Party faithfuls are urged to let their votes count.
There's no way you are going to put a stop to this kind of impunity if you don't vote. So we need to all gather, collect our PVCs and vote out the government that has clearly proved, to be, oppressive.
Channels Television organizes a forum which features government officials, civil society representatives, and leading analysts in various fields. Discussions on the topic, Nigeria, a Fragile Nation, begin on how the country has fared in the past 19 years of democratic rule.
We should ask ourselves, was recession inevitable? Was it inevitable? It wasn't inevitable. I maintain and I put the feet of the government to the fire on this. What happened was that the oil shock already affected us, but we deepened the acuteness of what came upon us by just taking the wrong measure. And one key wrong measure that we took, which Besmark knows kills economies, is to send confusing signals on an important pricing mechanism, our exchange policy. That was disastrous. What our exchange policy did was simply to say to the markets that we were reversing what had become predictably known as our capacity to adjust in a flexible manner of managed floating exchange policy to the allocation of very scarce, productive commodity.
What we had was an oil-induced recession compounded by corruption, and we had an oil-induced recovery. So again, a natural wealth economy and a produced wealth economy are two different things. What Obi was talking about was how do you transition from a natural wealth economy to a produced wealth economy? The answer to that is actually to attract investment, both domestically and internationally, and to become efficient in what you do. So we try to look at these things, and people forget pain. Memory for pain is short, and that's why women go back to the labor room and go back to and do those things and bring it back again. So what has happened is that the level of investment has stabilized, but it's not up to that optimal level. So suboptimality of performance is still a problem. And how do we get there? We get there by actually believing in ourselves and putting in the efforts that are there.
I said I was going to enter some alibi for the Buhari government, that they are fighting a war, but the war will not end by just one battle. There will be several battles. In other words, maybe they have to make sure that they pursue those who have been accused of corruption to the bitter end by securing convictions. Because what Nigerians are angry about is lack of convictions. And it's not the fault of the government. And lawyers don't talk for free. They are mobilized to defend accused persons. And the lawyers also exploit all the loopholes in the legal system to prolong the trial. Some accused persons will feign sickness and enter into theatrics. So, all sort of things can happen in a trial. But I'm saying the government must be decisive. Either get the law reformed so that the conviction, this penalty for public corruption is made more drastic. I don't want to say draconian, but I'm saying that we have to show effort by the government to deal with accused persons. I had somebody mention the former secretary to the government and what have you. And they will still have their day in court. I want to believe. So really, we should not really, like somebody said, throw away the baby with the bathwater. It's a difficult task. And I remember that President Buhari tried 3 times to become president. The 4th time, I don't want to go into how he became president. But now those who made sure he became president, they believed that he was ramrod incorruptible and that he's the most suited person to contain the ogre of corruption.
Generally in the right
Government officials on the panel defend the Buhari-led administration, which they are part of.
Ask yourself the question, in 2015 to 2017, was Nigeria the only country in recession? I say no. Russia was in recession, Brazil was in recession, South Africa was in recession, Egypt was in recession, and we make it look as if Nigeria is this island on Mars that is immune to global influences. That's the first thing. The second thing is that that recession was triggered mainly by the fact that we lost over half of our oil production through our domestic political issues. So even at the time when oil prices began to rise, we had lost a lot of production already, and that took the base out of the situation.
Fundamental issue is that you can't have a situation where you depend on just oil for your foreign exchange, and where you just go up and down as oil prices go up and down. Therefore, we are basically pursuing a diversification agenda that is increasing the sources for foreign exchange, that is increasing local production. I think the first thing that has to be accepted, and I think this is what Dr. Dikbelu was trying to say, is that the strategy, the plan is a sound one. And I haven't met anybody that said the plan is wrong. Some people have said implement it better, implement it faster. Some people have said they're working very hard. The important thing is that Rome is not built in a day. That process has to continue. The numbers that have just come out, which is actually what I thought we'll be discussing, are very compelling. And those numbers show a strong trend of recovery, and we actually need to understand that. The reason you need to understand that is that if you have a formula that is working, you do more of it. But if you don't understand it and you're in denial, then you might even stop something that is working and then try something else that will fail.
In Johannesburg, South Africa, a group of young Nigerian students challenged the government to step up effort and create the future they would like to see.
If you are determined to change, then we'll see the Nigeria that we've been dreaming about.
I would like to see a Nigeria whereby all the tribes are united. We do not judge a leader based on where they are from as opposed to what they can offer to the country.
I would definitely like to see a Nigeria whereby the war against corruption is not a political one.
Perhaps the president has been listening keenly to public discourse as it concerns the call for the signing of the Not Too Young to Run bill.
Your focus and contributions have now successfully increased the quality and maturity of Nigerian democracy and expanded the playing field for youth participation in politics. You, the young people of Nigeria, are now set to leave your mark on the political space, just as you have done over the decades in entrepreneurship, sports, art, media, entertainment, technology, and several other fields. You are undoubtedly Nigeria's most important resource. The bill I just assented now becomes an act of the National Assembly. Thus, it may be tempting for you to think of this as the end of the journey. However, it is only the beginning. There is still a lot of work ahead towards ensuring that young people take full advantage of the opportunities provided not only by this constitutional amendment, but also through Nigeria's boundless prospects.
Days after he promised to sign the bill in his May 29 nationwide broadcast, the president puts pen to paper, signing the bill into law. The law reduces the age qualification for president from 40 to 35, House of Representative membership from 30 to 25, and State House of Assembly membership from 30 to 25. Governors and senators are left at 35. The National Assembly had passed the bill last year, altering some sections of the 1999 Constitution. This is not the first time a bill seeking the reduction of age for people seeking elective positions was sponsored and passed by the National Assembly. The same bill was among the bills passed by the 7th Assembly, but was never signed into law. The bill was sent to state houses of assembly to complete the Constitution Amendment circle, and 24 out of 36 states passed the bill, which was then transmitted to the President for his assent.